Hello friends, my name is Mrs. Sarika Bhavare, Assistant Professor at Rajgan Nanpits College of Pharmacy, Bhor. Today I am going to discuss the topic from medicinal chemistry, that is anti-anginal agents. These are the learning outcomes. After watching this video, you will be able to understand what are anti-anginal agents, classification of anti-anginal agents, mechanism of action of anti-anginal agents, and structure and therapeutic uses of selected anti-anginal agents. So first, what are anti-anginal agents? So anti-anginal agents are used in the treatment of angina pectoris, which is also called as angina. Angina pectoris is the symptom of ischemic heart disease. Ischemic heart disease mainly developed due to the deficiency of oxygen supply to the heart. And this angina pectoris is characterized by severe constricting pain in the chest, often radiating from the precordium to the left shoulder and down the arm. So this is one of the important symptoms of this angina pectoris, that is constricting pain in the chest, and that pain is often radiating from this pericardium to the left shoulder and towards the down the arm. Main cause of this angina pectoris is insufficient coronary blood flow in the face of increased oxygen demand, that is due to reduction in the oxygen supply to demand ratio. So oxygen supply demand ratio is decreased, that is there is a demand for the oxygen by the heart is more but supply is less. So in that case we can say this ratio. So goal of the treatment is to limit the oxygen requirement of the heart and to increase coronary blood flow by vasodilation or by muscle relaxation. So this will be the ultimate aim, ultimate treatment for the angina pectoris, that is there is a requirement of increase in the coronary blood flow. So that mainly achieved by vasodilation or by muscle contraction. These are the various classes of anti-anginal agents. First one, nitrite derivatives, for example nitroglycerin, amyl nitrite, etc. Calcium channel blockers, specifically verapamil, nifedipine, diltiazem, etc. Beta blockers, examples propranolol, atenolol, etc. Reflection spot. So can you guess the mechanism of action for this anti-anginal drugs? So earlierly we discussed about the three classes are used, that is nitrite derivatives, second calcium channel blockers, and third that are the beta blockers. So what will be the mechanism of action for that? So guess for 2 seconds and you can recall the answer. So here, as we have already discussed, that is here in the treatment of angina there is a need to increase in the blood flow. So to increase in the blood flow, mainly vasodilation, and the second one, that muscle relaxation, that were important points. So this for nitrite derivatives mechanism is like this. So sodium nitroprusside agent, it directly releases this nitric oxide which inside the smooth muscles responsible for activation of this guanylate cyclase enzyme which convert GTP into cyclic GMP. So due to activation of this enzyme there is an increase in the cyclic AMP that leads to the relaxation. This is if certain organic nitrate derivatives are also used as anti-anginal agent. If that nitrate derivatives are used, first they are converted into NO2, RNO2, then with the help of thioenzyme, S-nitrosothiol compounds are formed and which leads to the formation of this nitric oxide, and then that mainly responsible for the relaxation. So this is mechanism of action for nitrite derivatives. Then this is mechanism of action for calcium channel blockers. As we know, these calcium ionic channels are present in the membrane, that membrane which is made of this phospholipid bilayer, and this particular ionic channel is present. So what happens normally when any ligand or any drug bind with that calcium ionic channel which has the various binding site, so when that bind, it open that particular ion channel due to change in the conformation of the membrane, and that leads to the entry of that calcium inside the cell. And as we know, calcium is mainly responsible for muscle contraction. So this is the normal mechanism of the cellular contraction, that is muscle contraction. Here when we use these calcium channel blockers, as they are blockers, they will block this channel, that is they act on the binding site of that channel and block that block that entry of the calcium inside the cell. So as there is no entry of calcium inside the cell, there will be no muscle contraction. The ultimate will be the muscle relaxation, which leads to the increase in the blood flow. Then the mechanism of action for beta blockers. As beta blockers, we have studied three types of beta blockers are there: beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors. Specifically, beta 2 receptors are present in heart, and that mainly responsible for this that are G protein coupled receptor. G proteins receptors are beta 1 and beta 2 receptors. Then this adenylate cyclase, that receptors are responsible to activate this adenylate cyclase, which mainly responsible to convert the ATP into cyclic AMP. This increased cyclic AMP responsible for activation of various protein kinase enzymes, and that protein kinase enzymes mainly responsible for release of the calcium inside the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and then that released calcium responsible for contraction. This is the normal mechanism, but these are beta blockers. So beta blockers will block these receptors, so there is no adenylate cyclase activation, no cyclic AMP formation. As there is no cyclic AMP formation, no various activation of protein kinase enzymes, there will be no muscle contraction due to the inhibition of entry of calcium, due to inhibition of release of calcium. Okay, so in this way, ultimate aim is vasodilation and the muscle relaxation. So these are the various drugs which are used as nitrates or nitrite derivatives. So this one is glyceryl trinitrate, which is also called as nitroglycerin. Second, amyl nitrite, erythritol tetranitrate, and isosorbide dinitrate. And specifically, these nitrodilators are used for arterial and venous dilation, used in the treatment of hypertension, heart failure, angina, and myocardial infarction, responsible to inhibit the platelet aggregation. Then these are the various structures for the calcium channel blockers. Amlodipine, diltiazem, verapamil drugs are used in the treatment of hypertension, angina, and arrhythmia. These are the structures for various beta blockers: atenolol, propranolol, and metoprolol, mainly used in the treatment of hypertension, angina, myocardial infarction, arrhythmias, and heart failure. So here in this way we focused on various anti-anginal agents. In that we covered about what are anti-anginal agents, classification of it, mechanism of action for anti-anginal agent, and in brief various drugs with their structure and therapeutic uses of anti-anginal agents. Thank you.